Hello, what's going on? It's your boy Lil Mike 6, and you're about to witness a dual commentary between me and XII Resistance, who is the leader and founder of XII, the MLG team, and you're about to see me die one off my VSAT. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next commentary. Peace.
Alright, what's up guys? Resistance and Mike.
What's up?
And pretty much just want to talk about the positives and negatives of League play. I know a lot of people take it serious, and it's actually a really fun game mode. Mike, what do you think is the positives out of the League play thing?
Some of the positive things that I think about League play is just the fact that it helps you build your skill of the game. I mean, because you're playing against really competitive people. You're not playing against the same people over and over. It switches your people that you play against each match. So it's not like you're just completely dominating the same people over and over. You get a new experience each game mode. And I just feel like with League play, they do their best to kind of match you against some of the best players in the world. Oh yeah, and it's competitive. It's also really competitive as well. I mean, you're playing with MLG rules and things like that, so that kind of changes the feel of the game compared to just playing regular.
Yeah. Honestly, I honestly think, the whole League play thing was a great idea. I think it was a really good turn from the 4v4s and the 3v3s. I had a mono for 3, which was really competitive sometimes, if you find a clan, and it was really fun. I think League play is not for everybody. I don't think everybody should play League play. Just the fact that, like Mike said, it's really competitive, and that it's just, it's a different feel of the game mode. It's not the same like you would usually play in a public match. A lot of people take it serious, and I just feel like it's. I mean, if you're one of those serious players, then it's a great fit. But if not, then I highly doubt it. It's also a great tool to rank up. I really noticed that it's like a really fun way to rank up. If you have a full team of 4, I think it's 10,000 XP every win, 7,500 XP every loss, which is totally understandable. I mean, that's still a high amount of XP when you're a low rank. I think it helps a lot. It helps you build your, just the more competitive feel for everything. Like Mike said, it is MLG rules, it is MLG setup, everything, gun restrictions to just everything works. What else? What do you think about the negatives? What's a negative to you?
Some of the negatives that I would say is like the connection. I really don't like the connection, the way the game kind of plays. I mean, because it puts you against players around the world that aren't really, they're not really near your area. So when you're playing, you're going to get a lot of lag and a lot of problems with the connection. But I mean, at the same time, the connection isn't all that bad, but it's a lot worse on PS3 than it is on Xbox 360. It has a lot to do with servers and then people's connections, but it really kind of shows a lot in gameplay on, PlayStation 3. But I mean, as far as just bad things about League play, that's all I can really say is just the connection. I mean, everything else is pretty cool, and then on top of that, if the bad part about playing League play would be more like if you don't want to play against competitive players or something like that, which you don't really have a choice to play in Black Ops 2 because they put connection. I mean, not connection, but skill-based matchmaking in every mode. So it's kind of like you kind of have to play against the same like tryhards every game, but. I mean, it does, like I say, it does kind of affect you as far as connection base goes. That's all about I could say is just the connection problems, and then the strengths of it would be just the fact that it helps you grow and get better, and the fact that just playing League play alone is just it improves your gameplay because you're playing with MLG rules. You're restricted to using those perks that kind of stop you from being able to do what you would normally do. It kind of trains you in a way is what I'm, you know.
Yeah. I think my negative would be the whole signing out thing. People sign out so much. It's just really frustrating, especially when you're playing, you know, the 3 guys that you need, and, you know, even if you're playing solo and you need that extra guy.
Yeah.
Because you know you're facing a team, or, you know, you're facing Masters, and a lot of people sign out when they do see Masters.
Exactly.
Which in my eyes, I feel it's much better to play harder people. I mean, especially if you're a competitive player like me, I love to play the harder challenge. I love to see what people have. It also builds my perspective, what people use, and what guns are best for me to use. And I really found out a lot of guns that I would never usually regularly use in public matches. I mean, I found out the FEL is really, really good. You know, the SMR I really dislike from the fact that it's just so overpowered, especially when you put that, you know, suppressor on it. It's just insane. I mean, the whole signing out process does suck, especially when you're in a game and people sign out on you. It really frustrates me myself. You know, especially when you're playing solo. The whole signing out thing sucks a lot, and the whole lag process. When people time out, it's more frustrating than signing out. It's just you need that extra person, and now they're gone.
Exactly. One of the things that I can say that I really, you know, feel about signing out, a lot of the things that people sign out for in this game, I feel like they could reduce by simply, you know, just taking a certain part and making it a game mode for, you know, taking out those things that they know irritate people, like they did in Black Ops 1 with the Express mode. They had Express, and that was perfect for people who didn't like Ghost and Second Chance. If they could bring back something like that, and they really don't have to put much in there, I mean, because Ghost isn't really a problem in this game, but they could put in, like, taking off the target finders, the, you know, they could even take off the dual wheel for some of these Cap 40s and B-23Rs and things like that. So just some things to kind of weaken some of the strengths of the game that just becomes irritating. They could take off those EMP grenades, or, you know, just some of the parts. It doesn't have to be a lot, but, you know, just some of the things that make the game, you know, irritating. And not, you know, I don't think that target finder hurts, you know, because I think it is taken off in League Play, right?
Target finder's still in League Play.
Okay, well, yeah, see, well, that's still in League Play, but, you know, I think that should be something that should be taken out, you know.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of noobish. It's not really something that, you know, you would want to see a professional using. I use Target Finder myself, but, I mean, that's only because it's just overpowered, and I just feel like, hey, if it's overpowered and it's there and available to use, then I'm going to use it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the way they should have went with it was, you know, I was happy they took out the C4s and the Claymores and all that stuff. I really wanted them to take out, you know, just the hit reduction on some guns like the SMR, like a 2-shot with the suppressor on it, which should be a 2-shot with the suppressor on it. I just feel like there's a whole bunch of, you know, different things to use. What else is there really? I mean, I like the fact that they didn't have the orbital in there, you know, the hunter killer, but I felt like they could have, like, kind of switched up the, you know, kill streaks a little bit more, maybe added one for League Play. Who knows? The millimeter scanner is a really good tool. I found it to be really useful, but the rapid fire on certain guns is just insane. It's insane, and I really did feel like that was really a high-powered thing to use, especially on the Scorpion. I feel like the Scorpion's already high fire rate already than what it is now.
Yeah.
Especially a rapid fire on it. That's insane. I wish they had different little map rotations. I feel like I see the same maps over and over again. I wish they did something with the DLC. That'd be kind of cool to see, a whole DLC movement, you know, but they really don't, like, the same maps, and that's just how it is. I wish they didn't have so much of the cockiness. I wish, you know, people go in there and they're just evil. That's why I really don't like replay also. There's so many people that talk crap to you.
Exactly. A lot of people, they feel like their ranking proves them to be better at the game than most people. They feel like their ranking means something as far as them being a better player. I mean, the ranking, I don't believe that ranking in this game is pretty accurate. Honestly, I don't think the ranking proves that anybody is the best or better than anyone else. I mean, you could be ranked level 1 and still not be too good of a player. You could get beat by a guy who's ranked level, like, 500 or so. I believe that it's all about smarts and how you go and initiate gameplay and things like that. Um, what are these guys doing? But I believe that the whole feel to this game is just, it's about being smart. Everything that you do in Call of Duty is about playing smart. It's, there's nothing that you would initiate. That's one reason why I actually love, Call of Duty multiplayer. That's why I feel a lot of people like, multiplayer. You're playing against human intelligence. It's not AI, artificial intelligence or computer intelligence.
Yeah.
So I believe that's one of the main reasons people actually like playing this game. That's why a lot of people don't like zombies, in my opinion. And honestly, I believe that in the future, this Call of Duty will be something much greater than what it is today. I mean, from going back and playing like World at War and things like that, just in the same system, the way they changed the parts of the game, just technically in the system, I mean, it just became a much better game, and that's all on the same software. I mean, on the same hardware. Sorry, but it's just different software. Honestly, I believe that, Call of Duty will be something major, and eventually, it will become a bigger, like, MLG influence. Eventually it will kind of make its way into being like, almost like a sport. Not really a sport, but it'll make its way into being something like a sport. It'll be like an event, like a big event that happens all the time, and not just like certain MLG events that only certain people are invited to. Eventually, there will be stands and crowds, and
Yeah. And I feel like the community now is growing from what it was, from what it has been from Modern Warfare 2 all the way up to Black Ops 2. It's been amazing, and I feel like a lot of people have discovered that. I feel like there's a lot more competitive players out there than there was back when I used to start playing. No one used to play competitively. Everyone took it as if you play competitive, you were a tryhard, and that's always how it's been. But now it's just like you're one of those skilled players. And I do feel like PS3 has a lot, to offer. I do feel like, the whole Xbox community with, the movement that, the 360 has for everybody and Xbox Live, how they support every MLG event. I feel like if PS3 were to do that,
exactly,
in the near future, would be a giant step in the community from what it is now. I do understand that, sometimes there's a lot of people that people say that PS3 sucks, PS3 is bad, but I feel like there's a lot of good players on PS3. I do meet a lot of people on PS3. Our team right now will be at MLG Anaheim soon, so I mean, you know what I mean? I feel like if they did something like that for PS3, it'd be a whole bunch of improvements. The play would be better. Just a giant improvement in everything, I think I would see. I mean, the players now, some players are just really, really cocky, and I do understand that because, they're good with a certain gun, and they can be, but I feel like the whole League Play thing opened my eyes to the whole, let's make PS3 like Xbox. Let's do that whole Xbox movement that PS3 hasn't done yet.
yeah.
That's just something new. It's just something, exciting that people would love to see, because I know myself, I've been playing Xbox since I started gaming, and PS3 would be a whole bunch of better things to have, especially when it comes to competitive. It just build a whole bunch more.
Yeah, to me, it kind of feels like there's much more competitive players on PlayStation 3 than there are on 360. In a way, just because I feel like there's a larger variety of players, of gamers. You get way more kids playing on PS3 than I would think 360, just because their parents, they don't really have to pay that extra amount for that online gameplay. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
yeah,
it's free to play, and all you have to do is just have internet connection, and you can play. There's just a much greater variety, and I know a lot of my friends also say that they don't play Xbox 360 for that reason. So this community is actually missing out on some really good players because of that whole have to pay for having to pay for that extra. For that Xbox Live membership, you know what I mean? Have to pay for, extra. But I kind of feel like Xbox 360. Playing on Xbox 360, I run into a whole lot of parties. Like everybody I run into a lot of parties. On PlayStation 3, sometimes I'll run into a few parties, but majority of the time it's just individual gamers. But on Xbox 360, it's like everybody is in a party. And I know this Xbox 360 players. If anybody watches my YouTube channel, they'll know that, like, I feel like a lot of Xbox 360 players are pretty rude. Like, they don't have, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm having bad luck, but they're pretty mean. Like, they don't accept you as a person. Like when you go in for a gaming and you're like, hey man, let's party up. They don't really accept you. They kind of trash talk a lot. They do it on PS3 as well, but it's not as bad.
Yeah.
And I think.
And I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, like when I play Xbox, when I used to play Xbox anyways, it'd just be so much cocky people. The whole YouTube thing on Xbox has gotten so overpowered to that point where they think if they have more subs, they can be a stronger, better person. I mean, that's cool. You understand that, but just people just don't have like the polite ways, to talk to people on Xbox. I feel like Xbox is so cocky just the way it is, and that can be moderated. I mean, I feel like a lot of things that's happening, with the whole trolling aspect, like, the way they do that, I can understand it infuriates a lot of people. Now, a lot of people, when you want to lobby up with somebody, they think, oh, well, maybe they're just trolling me, or maybe they're not taking it serious, which I do understand. That is understandable, but I feel like, that whole uneasy feeling of just being on Xbox kind of does suck.
Yeah.
And you really don't find that. You really don't find that on PS3. Like, 'cause usually a lot of people that you would like really want to play with you. Like, if you're a skilled player, they will add you because that's how good the community is on here. Like, a lot of people will be like, yeah, PS3 isn't, but like, it's a really racial thing when it comes down to it. People are always talking about, the Mexicans on it because they can't afford it, or nothing but little kids on it because they can't, afford Xbox. But it's not like that. I mean, I know people personally like me. I can afford, Xbox.
Yes.
If it really came down to it, I could afford it, but I don't because, I feel like this community has a lot to build on, and I feel like, with XI and everybody that's doing comp teams and GBs on MRG, it can build that community to be something as big as Xbox. You know what I mean? It could help a lot. And that's just a giant factor what it is.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. I mean, the only reason I really bought an Xbox 360 is because I feel like I have to bring the best to my channel. And also, I kind of also feel like, there are some advantages to each system. There are some things that I like about PlayStation 3 that I don't like about the Xbox 360, but there are some things that I like about Xbox 360, like that I really don't like about PS3. Like, the connection is, it seems to run a lot smoother on Xbox 360 than it does on PS3, but I personally just don't like the feel of the controller. I don't like the way that the sensitivity and everything kind of works out on Xbox 360, so I prefer to play with the PlayStation 3 controller. And it's just a whole lot more to it. And honestly, I can't blame the MLG, like the places that like sponsor these game events and things like that. I can't blame them for going for 360 just because they're majority people that play Call of Duty are 360 players. So, that's kind of understandable. But I also feel like when I play Xbox 360, you really don't even have to play long to realize that you're playing against just a bunch of tryhards and like a bunch of MLG players, just because it seems like everybody on 360 is almost a commentator. I can get on Xbox 360 any time of the day and I'll run into like big YouTube commentators. And I think a lot of people on 360 actually play with a lot of big commentators and don't even know it. On 360, I kind of feel like, the players that you run up against are either like serious about the game, or they just don't care about the game at all. Like, they're not serious at all. That's kind of how I kind of run into people on 360. Like, that's like the people that I play on PS3. There's like this mid-level who loves to play every day, but they don't really care. You know what I mean? It's kind of like like a mid-level gamer. Like the one who can actually play good sometimes. Sometimes he does bad. Sometimes he'll get on. Sometimes he won't. But on 360, it's like the guy just kind of runs into walls and, he either takes the game serious or not serious at all. And maybe that's because of that whole payout, having to pay for, your subscription. I think that a lot of people who feel like they're going to pay for it, they're going to do their best, They're going to do their best to learn it.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people on PS3 are really misjudged. Really misjudged. Like myself and Mike, we're cool people. We like to party up with like different people. We like to make it, just different. We don't like to play with the same people so often.
Exactly.
Like, me and him don't play a lot as we should, but the little bit we do, it's a fun experience. And I feel like, the way they did the DLCs and the way they, kind of made it unfair. I mean, I know Xbox did buy out the whole DIC first thing, but I feel like if they would have did that for PS3, it would have been a different movement. And I feel like PS3 is just, the PS3 system alone is just so much easier to maintain, and it's cheaper, and it lasts longer, I think, personally. I never had a problem with my PS3, and as long as I've had it. So that's also a good benefit from it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like Xbox is just constantly getting ruined.
Yeah. I mean, and I understand that too. I mean, I feel like if everybody's going to pay for the season pass, everybody should get it all at the same time. It's kind of unfair to like commentators who commentate on PS3 because, like for me, when I was commentating in things from PlayStation 3 and I didn't have my Xbox 360, I had to wait like an extra month or so to get a good gameplay of that map pack without being and I would miss out on that opportunity. So it's kind of like, Xbox 360 players are actually supported, in a way by the game as far as, putting their gameplay out and things like that. It kind of made you as a gameplay, like a news forecast, or I messed it up, but like a news, like an up-to-date gamer, or like an up-to-date commentator. If you're going to stay up to date, you have to, bring the latest and greatest news, and you can't really do that if, Microsoft is, giving a payout to, make sure that their gamers, it kind of ruins that whole feel. So you kind of have to become a Xbox 360 commentator, or either like a Xbox 360 commentator and a PlayStation 3 commentator. Which I had to actually do myself to, keep the latest news,
Yeah. It's also a different thing. I mean, it changes all the time. It varies, It can be the map pack, or it can be the servers, or it can be the lag, or it can be the hit section. It's a whole bunch of different things, but I just feel like, our community is strong. I feel like if, with the PS4, hopefully they start doing some.
Could you repeat that last part?
Competitive movement, like that'd be really interesting to see. I think personally, I think if with the PS4, hopefully they start doing something like that. They bring in the whole aspect of, that feel of doing like Xbox 360 did, but the PS4. That'd be like a very good thing to have, a very good tool to have, and the PS4 has a lot to offer. So we'll see how that goes. We really will see. So hopefully. It's better than what it is now. But what else can I really say? I mean, we kind of went over the whole League Play thing, kind of how we went over the community of PS3. I think kind of just finish it off by what did you think about the maps for the Uprising DLC? What did you personally think?
Now for some of the maps, I feel like the firing range, which is now called Studio. I think it's called Studio now. I feel like that's going to be one of the best maps of the game. I feel like that it feels exactly like firing range, just a little bit wider. Like the running spaces and things are a little bit more spread. It's a little wider than the normal firing range. There's a lot more room in that map, so a lot of people won't be getting stuck between doors and things like they would in the original firing range. Now, I've talked about this one as well. Vertigo is actually a pretty cool map. I don't really have much bad to say about that one, except stay out of the middle. It's like this big opening in the middle. It's kind of like a big square in the middle, and it's like a walk path going all the way around it. And it's kind of like if you guys played, it's a map on this game that they released in the new update, and it's like a big temple or something like that. You know which one I'm talking about? I can't think of the name of that map right off the bat.
Let me think.
It's like a big temple and it's all sand and everything.
Is that Magma?
No. It's a map that's on PlayStation 3 right now. Mirage, exactly. It's a map just like that, and it's called Mirage.
Let me think. Mirage, there you go.
Yeah,
Mirage.
and Mirage actually has this big part in the middle where you can actually run around like the middle of the map, like the opening. That's kind of how Encore. I mean, not Encore, but Vertigo is. Vertigo. It's a pretty cool map though. It doesn't have too many head glitches, which is pretty good. I mean, you can get some really good gameplays on that map. Except the only bad part is when you call in like a orbital. Or not an orbital, but like a support, like gun support from like a helicopter or something like that. It kind of is bad on you because you can't shoot anything because there's buildings, kind of covering everything except the outer corners of the map. It's kind of wide open. So that one's pretty good, but it does have a lot of areas where you have to be really careful because you could fall off the map. And then Magma is actually a pretty good map. The only problem I have with Magma is just the fact that you can die really easily by going into lava. And sometimes, I've died plenty of times already since the release of it. Just trying to avoid getting shot at by someone. There's lava by like the hard point, and if you're gonna play domination by B flag, there's lava all around it, so you have to be really, really careful not to, lay on that lava or scoot over to that lava because it'll burn you. And then there's like a couple of walkways where you have to there's actually only 2 ways to get to B flag on Magma, and that's from the top. It's like a top part that you walk down, and then there's like a walk path that you have to take. And if you take that walk path, if someone's shooting at you, you can't go right or left because you'll fall in lava. So that map is actually pretty cool. It's just too many fatalities in the map. But I mean, it's a really good map though. If it doesn't have many head glitches, it has a lot of exploding vehicles, and that's about it for that one. And then Encore would be I think the last map of that pack, and I really don't like Encore too much. Encore is a cool map, but I just don't like it. I've had some really good luck with it lately, but it's just like on the outer perimeter of the map, it's just tons of head glitches. In the middle, it's kind of like just a big opening to where you can kind of overlook everything from the stage. So if you get on that stage, you can kind of overlook the rest of the map. But the bad part is you're just going to be wide open for getting killed. There's like a big sniping part of the map where you actually go behind the stage, and then there's like this opening where you can kind of see over all of the stage, all of the stands. So if somebody runs out, you can actually get good. If you're a sniper, you can actually snipe people. So that's probably my least favorite of the maps though, just because of all the head glitches that they have. And as far as Mob of the Dead goes, Mob of the Dead is really, really cool. The problem with Mob of the Dead for me is just it seems really hard to play. A lot of people don't have trouble playing it, but there's a lot of new things that's brought into Mob of the Dead. Like they have this thing called the Hell Retriever, and it's basically a tomahawk that comes back to you every 6 seconds. And the guns are really hard to get to. You kind of have to buy a whole lot of doors before you can really get to any good guns. It's a whole lot to the game that's just new about zombies. There's a whole lot that you'll run into that's just really different in zombies now. Like you'll see when you play Mob of the Dead, they have like this new gun called it's called a like Gapple stat or something like that. It's a shotgun basically that's like one hit kill all the way up to like round. I think it's round maybe 40 or 30. It may be like all the way up to round like maybe 30. It's like a one hit kill, and they brought in this new style of zombies. Like the weaker zombies don't have any armor or anything, so you can kill those easier than you could kill the others. And then they have like some guards with like armor on them, and then those you actually have to shoot a lot more. Even from round 1, you will notice that you have to put a lot more bullets, and you have to actually stab that zombie a lot more. And then there's this huge zombie with a light on his chest that is just extremely hard to kill. And I believe that when you play zombies and you try to kill that boss, I believe that if you're playing solo or the less players you have, the easier it is to kill that main zombie. Because when I was playing by myself, I noticed that I was able to kill that zombie in one clip. That big main huge zombie, I was able to kill him with one clip. When I was playing in a party, it was like 4 or 5 clips. So it's just a different experience. They also brought the death machine into the mystery box. The Blundergat, and then the Pack-a-Punch is extremely hard to get to. You have to actually go and find 5 parts now instead of getting the normal 4 parts. You have to actually find 5 parts, and to get these 5 parts actually takes a lot of time. It's not as fast. Exactly, it's not as fast as just going in one room and then getting all the parts for like in Die Rise, you could actually get all the parts for the Trample Steam by just simply opening one door. You can get the flag, the like the throwing piece, the motor, and the little like funnel or whatever. Yeah, exactly. The screen. You could get all those parts with just one team in one go, and then you're ready to go for the next. And then you get the little spray gun or whatever. You can open 2 doors, or you can just ride the elevator and save all that money or all those points, to kind of advance through the game. Well, it's not like that in this Mob of the Dead. You have to actually and the doors cost a whole lot more. They're like 2,000 points, 3,000 points. There's some that I've seen for like almost 3,000 points. So it's a whole lot different, and you actually have to go down a lot. Like you actually have to initiate yourself into going down, and then there's one part where you actually have to have someone with you to grab this part. There's this one part where you actually have to either go in and grab the part and lock yourself in, or you either have to like go in by yourself and kind of survive inside of this cage where zombies just constantly crawl over in with you, and you're barricaded in there. You can't get out, or if you try to go down, you know what I mean? Zombies in Mob of the Dead is a completely different experience. I can say that there's this dog that you have to.
What's up, little niggas?
Hold on, Joel. Hold on, Joel. We're live streaming, bro.
No extra eyes.
But basically, it's just a completely different feel. And when you guys play it, you'll kind of enjoy the way it feels. You will like the way it feels. It's a completely new experience. I feel like that this zombies bring something new to the table, something extremely different. It doesn't feel like any other zombies that I've ever played before. It feels completely different. It feels like a whole new turn. I don't think that people are going to be making it as far as they were. I think they did some things to make it where it's kind of harder to get into glitches and things. So now you actually, if you're going to get far, you actually have to get far. And I think that's the good part about making it to where you actually have to go all around the map and find all these parts and things, and then actually have to come back, because that means that you actually have to survive all the way up to about level 20 just before you can Pack-a-Punch your first gun. So that means all those people who really can't play and they were Pack-a-Punching their gun extremely fast and then getting into glitches and then surviving like that for the rest of the rounds. Well, now, if you get into that glitch, you'll just get to a point really early in the match where you'll just run out of ammunition. And you could use that Hell's Retriever, but it's only going to work so far. Eventually, it'll just become once I got to level 20, the Hell's Retriever seemed like it didn't even make a difference. And that's about the round that we got to before we even got a chance to Pack-a-Punch our first gun. I've seen a couple of gameplays where there are some guys who do some glitches already. I saw a couple of glitches already. They were pretty weird how they got into them. They used like the afterlife to kind of fall into the glitches and things. But I heard you said you played a little bit of the Mob of the Dead. How was that for you?
I just think it was really, really confusing. I feel like they They kind of made it like a discovery game. Like it used to be like us kill zombies. Now it's kind of like we're all CIA agents trying to find out what's going on. And drugs are insane. There's a lot of fun things they added. I like the new perk they added because when people did reload, you did die really fast, and I did that was really amazing. They did that. With the plane, I thought the plane was a cool idea. I seen the final full achievement for the Easter egg, which is Poggo's the Weasel. I thought that was a really cool thing they added, but there's just a lot of things they left off on. We were all waiting for the regular four to come back from the moon. We're all waiting to see what happens with the new four we had got, and we haven't seen anything with that yet. Die Rise is just really, really plain. It was a really fun map to play. The Easter egg wasn't such a much of importance to the map, but now with all this, it's just so important. You have to find those parts so you can move on. Like you said, the Pack-a-Punch just take forever to get to. The whole movement with that was just insane. I thought I thought the way you turn on the perks was a cool idea. I feel like you die, so you have to kill yourself so much just to do any of that.
Exactly.
I wish it was just one giant power generator you turn on and it was done. But nah, it's not like that. I did like the Tommy gun they added. I don't know what it's actually called in the game. I know it's something like the Tommy gun, but I like that gun so much. Pack-a-Punch. That's actually a really interesting gun to use. Pretty much, I think that map's, especially when you're doing the Easter egg, when you go down to the laundry room, and you can't leave that room until you get everything done. And I thought that was just super hard to do. I thought, just some of the parts were hard to get.
Exactly.
But besides that, I thought it was really fun. The new maps in general, I feel like Hardpoint's not a game mode to play on any of them at all. The new maps are just so hard to hold down the Hardpoint. I feel like once you get on the Hardpoint, you're smacked off it real quick, either by fatality or either by a duel with an LMG. You know what I mean? But I kind of like Encore. I like the way they did Encore. I feel like it was just a nice movement from everybody camping. I feel like that map's so open that if you don't have any guns go, you will get smacked bad, and that's kind of what I liked. That's what I enjoyed about it. It's a different thing to have, a different aspect, but I feel like in time it'd be too hard for people to even get kills, after a while, because it's just so open of a map. Vertigo was really cool. I just thought, sometimes when you have your AGR, it kind of falls off the side of the building sometimes, which had happened to me due to the fact my friend had kicked it. I kind of lost the AGR. It was kind of sucky, like whatever, dude. But the care package is kind of cool to get on it. I think Domination is a perfect map to play on that map, Vertigo. I think that game mode is just amazing. It's hard. It's not hard. It's not easy. It's kind of like in the middle. Which I did enjoy about it. I did enjoy, the whole movement of all of it. I did like the way they did the map. Magma, I really did not. I think that was probably the worst out of all of them. I feel like that map is just so much more I had to focus on than just the objective alone. I feel like, when you play, you should focus on kills, but now you got to focus on Magma killing you and falling off the things. I just thought that was just so annoying to me. I know they had a lot of movable things that can kill you, like in the map packs previous to this and regular maps, just like Hydro and the gondolas and Downturn, and it was understandable. But now I feel like they just kind of moved too much with the whole movable parts and the way the map works. I feel like they kind of ruined it a little bit, but that's my take on it. I did love Studio. I feel like Studio was just a perfect map for every game mode you could possibly play. Kill Confirmed, from Domination to Demolition. I feel like it was just perfect balanced. A lot of people were upset they didn't see a gun in the new DLC. They didn't see, an extra perk or something. But I feel like in due time they will have like little add-ons like they did with the little transaction for the camos and stuff. I feel like that we can pick up guns and stuff sooner or later. We'll see what Treyarch does with that. But hopefully we get to see more. I did like the map. What was the last one I'm missing? Let me see. Magma, Vertigo, Encore, Studio. I think I covered them all. But I like Studio. Studio is an amazing map, especially if you missed, firing range, which I did miss, especially in Search and Destroy. I did miss firing range. That map was so fun to play. And it's everything else. I feel like, sooner or later, like, the whole movement with the whole Treyarch movements and the zombies will come back to the original four. Hopefully I get to see, Nikolai and Dempsey and all of them sooner or later. Get to finish a really main story. There's only two more map packs to come out. And, the faster they come out, we'll see what happens. And, I think we're kind of reaching a little bit of time here. I think we're touching like 20 minutes, I think, right now. But, that's pretty much what we'll have today, man. If you want to see more dual commentaries together, let us know. We will definitely talk about, doing more and get into different things. Let us know what you want to talk to us about, either whether it be from Pokemon matches to League play to guns, let us know and we will start playing those, man. But from here, Resistance, and I'm out. Mike.
Yeah, that's about all I had to say as well. So we're gonna just go ahead and end this commentary right here. But we want to thank you guys for watching, and RIP.
Cool.